Hi, this is how you change the Pollen or cabin air filter in a Ford S-Max left-hand side drive model. This here is a 2014 Ford S-Max, but as far as I've been able to find, the process is fairly similar on most S-Max cars. Alright, so this is a little more straightforward on a right-hand drive S-Max, since the cabin filter is accessed from underneath in here. Since though this is a left-hand drive S-Max, we actually need to remove the throttle or accelerator, gas pedal, whatever you want to call it, to be able to get to the filter. Something that is surprisingly fairly easy, even though someone at Ford should probably have been let go because of this design. So basically what we need to do is that we need to remove these 10mm nuts holding the accelerator pedal in place. Then theoretically we also need to remove these 3 7mm nuts holding the cover for the air filter in place. However, on this car someone has, prior to me being here, kindly, I think, replaced them with a single thumb screw. So tool-wise you'll want a 10mm spanner with a bit of an extension and a ratchet to reach specifically this nut that is really stupidly located and a bit hard to get to. In my case though, I got away with just using this 10mm spanner, since whoever owned this car before me, or whoever serviced it, thought they'd just not put the top nut back on the accelerator pedal. And the two ones left on the left are fairly easy to get to. Also, since the working position here is somewhat terrible, a rug or similar is a nice thing to have around to keep your knees from hurting. Alright, let's go. First we start by unscrewing the two, that should theoretically be 3, 10mm nuts holding the accelerator pedal in place. After that, the whole pedal just comes loose without much issue. You can leave the whole pedal connected, but here I'm going to remove it to get a better look at what we're actually doing. If you want to remove it, this is just a simple matter of just carefully nudging the whole plug out of the pedal, and then we can put it to the side. Next we are going to loosen the thumb screw that originally is 3-ish 7mm nuts. Then the cover comes off like so. It is somewhat lodged underneath the right edge, so it needs to be lifted out from the back to snap out of its place. Then, to get even better access and also not to break this little blue cable that I'm not really sure what it's doing, I'm also going to disconnect this little blue cable by just pushing down on the little release tab and then pulling it out of the way. Then we start pulling the old filter out. Luckily, these type of filters are somewhat squishable, so it can be pushed together in the middle a bit and then twisted out to eventually snap out. There, now we're getting somewhere, and it definitely looks like this one had been in here for a bit too long. At this point, also make sure to remove any leaves or other niceties that has made its way into the air filter compartment. Then also, before inserting the new filter here, make sure it is correctly aligned and that the arrow or arrows that are on it are pointing in the same direction as they did on the old one. The arrow indicating the airflow should point inwards towards the car, since the air flows from the front into the car. So the arrow should reflect the direction of the air coming through the filter. Then, to get it in, we squish it a bit in the middle while rotating it about 90 degrees. Then we can just wiggle it in and push it down in the bottom, whereupon it snaps back out into its full shape inside the filter compartment and can then just be pushed in the last of the way without any resistance whatsoever. If you feel resistance here, just nudge the filter out a bit and then push it back, since it should slide in without any restrictions. From here, it is then just a matter of a reversal process of first putting the filter lid thingy back by inserting the right side of it first and then snapping it in place and fastening it using the 3 nuts, or in my case the thumb screw. Then the blue plug gets reconnected and this one just snaps back in, and then it's time for the accelerator pedal to move back as well. Don't forget here to first plug it in by just pushing the connector on the cord down into the connector on the pedal. Then all the 3, 2, in my case, 10mm nuts goes back on and we are done. Well done. Please share any thoughts or questions in the comments below and I'll do my best to help with all I can. Thank you for watching. Bye.